That Oscars drama had absolutely everybody talking.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth!
Ethan Klein is yet another influencer getting called out for dragging Will Smith, but he's getting called out because he didn't keep that same energy when it came to Trisha allegedly abusing his brother-in-law back when that drama was first exposed online. Basically, for those who don't remember, Moses' ex-girlfriend leaked screenshots of texts that Moses had had with Trisha about Trisha punching him in the arm, and he had bruises all over his arms. Not only that, but Ethan was also dragged because he had been accused of not defending his wife multiple times when she was ripped into by Trisha Paytas. So let's look at Ethan's tweet about Will Smith's Oscar stunt that caused a lot of divided drama about the situation. Will Smith just a walking L since his wife decided to start weekly humiliating him on her Facebook show. Prob should deal with whatever trauma he has with her instead of punching Chris Rock in the face for an extremely tame joke. He needs to be escorted out of the Oscars. Someone had responded, he defended his wife, something I know you aren't familiar with. Obviously, this person was referring to an episode on Frenemies where Trisha ripped into Klein and Ethan did nothing about it.
What the? Who the fuck are you, bitch?
Say what? What did she say?
She said, I read it. I saw it because I was on fucking TikTok.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't read his private message
when
with
I'm
his
on
sister.
TikTok and there's a message that comes up and I see it, I'm not reading it, I see it.
Yeah,
and
no,
I see
you're
my
reading
name
his
being
private
brought up.
messages with his sister. You shouldn't do that.
Hila actually responded to this person's tweet saying, my husband should punch people for me if he really loves me, right? So I can feel safe and secure, and I should go back in the kitchen while he goes to work to provide for me, right? Hell yeah, good day for us women. Ethan responded, I'll be back later, baby. I just need to track down Trisha and Keemstar to protect your honor. Do not leave the kitchen until I return. I love you. Keemstar then ended up responding to this tweet saying, Dear Ethan Klein, I never disrespected your wife, you did. You started referring to her as a horse. Also, you don't have to track me down. I've been trying to physically fight you for years. Yikes. So things are getting very messy. Ethan then continued defending his perspective on Will Smith's Oscar stunt, which pissed off a lot of tweeters. Will Smith won and got a standing ovation. I'm in awe the show went on like nothing happened. Will Smith a comedian for doing his job. He's a celebrity in the front row of the Oscars where it's normal to be roasted. Bad taste or not, defending well equals brain rot. Somehow everyone loved Ricky Gervais roasting the shit out of celebrities with way worse jokes, but also applaud Will Smith for punching Chris Rock. Y'all really with the absolute brain rot. Normalize attacking comedians that offend you. Half of Twitter this evening.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow.
Ethan had then acknowledged that he'd gotten cancelled on Twitter and defended his stance once again on his channel with Hila and their baby by his side.
If you're that quick to anger and violence, you're going to be quick to anger and violence in other walks of your life.
Of course, people started bringing up how he didn't defend his wife when it came to that Frenemies episode with Trisha, and this is what he had to say.
You wouldn't get it because you never protect your wife or something.
Yeah, dude, I got ratioed so hard, like 200,000 likes. I was like, what? It was like, you wouldn't know about defending your wife. I was like, I guess I was supposed to stab Trisha or something. I don't know what they expect me to do.
Now, this is the thing. Will Smith obviously sent out an apology, and we all know for a fact if it was someone else who threw that smack, they'd have been arrested, but because it was Will, he got away with it. He'd posted this apology to his Instagram story. Violence in all of its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behaviour at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are part of this job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologise to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed, and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. I would also like to apologise to the Academy, the producers of the show, all the attendees, and everyone watching around the world. I would like to apologise to the Williams family and my King Richard family. I deeply regret that my behaviour has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us. I am a work in progress. I don't don't know how I feel about that apology, to be honest. Fans are now pointing out that Ethan defended Trisha's treatment towards Moses at the time when those messages got exposed, but he didn't defend well. So the thing is, he didn't exactly defend Trisha per se, but he definitely skipped over and ignored what she'd done.
Specifically.
The arm thing.
How did people get photos of it? I didn't put that out.
After you said it on the podcast, that account was like, now that it's out on the podcast, I'm going to post these photos. My boyfriend got catfished by someone, said something about an altercation we had that nobody knew. Ethan brought it up on the podcast. That makes me look like I'm a domestic, like I'm a person that my partner. And like that was out in the open. And we even said, Moses, like, stop, cut it. We're like, don't put that in the thing. What does he do? He puts it in the thing.
Wait,
it was never it was never public.
Well, maybe you shouldn't hit him.
I agree, but that is something that is so personal that you said, and we're like, please edit it out. It was a weak moment, and our relationship will never get past that. And I even tell him that. Now everyone thinks I'm a man and shit like that.
Now, the way in which that whole abuse situation was handled by everyone was gross. If a woman ever went onto a podcast and talk about how their boyfriend stole their keys, forced them to stay in a house, people would be calling 911, and rightfully so. Yet because the roles were reversed and Trisha was acting like a victim, as they usually do, they were willing to let it slip under the rug. So all was forgotten after that, and they went on to have many more successful frenemies episodes where Trisha then believed she could get away with absolutely anything. So Ethan's response to the Will Smith and Chris Rock situation continued on his podcast, where he enraged fans even more by what he had to say.
Front row. You know you're going to get ribbed, okay? Will Smith is one of the richest, most famous dudes in the world. People think he's a god.
Fortnite.
He's got the best job in the world. All you got to do is act, and he gets paid hundreds of millions of dollars, and people suck his wherever he goes, like proverbially.
That's hot.
And maybe physically. I don't know what he gets into. But you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so the one night you sit there and the God on his high throne has to come down to the people's level and endure some light ribbing from legendary comedian Chris Rock. He can't deal with it. Chris Rock says something totally...
Ethan went off in this episode and refused to listen to anyone else's opinion on the situation, which really had fans pissed in the comments section. Ethan, as a person that views and loves the podcast, I hate when you accept callers to debate and don't even let them finish their sentence or be rude. These people were polite and nice and just wanted to debate with you, and you were super rude. You can tell that even the crew was uncomfortable and did not get to give a real opinion. Most painful episode to get through by far. Watching Ethan raising his voice to the crew and callers and constantly interrupted was horrible to watch and reminded me of getting talked over by misogynistic men around me. Love the pod and agree with Ethan's take, but the way he went about it was not it. So what are your guys' thoughts on this whole Oscars situation and also Ethan's response? Let me know in the comments.